welcome to 13 Kingsley Road. What we have here is an old Georgian house. The features that exist are so beautiful, so I wanted to make sure that I created a design that would really make it look beautiful and pop and stand out. So what I've done is I actually reinstated the Victorian floor tiles, which are made individually. They're actually mosaic tiles, and they're placed individually. So instead of having a 60 by 60 or 30 by 30 tiles, we had literally like a 5 centimeters by 5 centimeter tile to create the entirety of the pattern. And we also left all of the cornicing and complemented it by creating a warm sort of mushroom color in the corridor to ensure people feel. Here is the living room, and I really wanted to focus on creating a simple space. I'm a massive believer that when you are in your living space, you want to feel like you are not in the UK, like you're maybe in the Mediterranean or somewhere really warm and really beautiful. And so therefore I made sure that all the colors and tones that I placed in the space were very complementative to that feeling of escapism. I mean, your home is your sanctuary. It's a place where you reside in it. You come to your space to escape stress. You want to make sure that you stand out. A lot of people are looking online when they're looking at your space, so you want to make sure that when people swipe, they don't swipe past you, they just stop right at your house. And I think there was no better example than this house when it comes to not only creating something that's bold, but also making sure that it's palatable for majority of the people out there. So what I created here, as you can see behind me, there is a really kind of beautiful sort of distressed looking wall. So the whole concept and the whole idea is to create a space like you're going to Buckingham Palace and you are in somewhere that is an old regal temple. I wanted to make sure that we are complementing it with modernization, and so you definitely need to be very careful about how you complement kind of old features. I wanted to create bracketless floating shelves, and I almost wanted it to look like stone or like it was carved inside the wall. So this was a really proud moment for me. And then over here we have the fireplace, and again, I'm very into antique. I'm very into going to flea markets and going to antique markets and finding treasures. We have twin stone fireplaces in this room, and the reason why I picked stone, some may think that that's quite cold, but I think that because I made sure I invested in a lot of warmth in this room, I thought that stone would be such a lovely ancient feeling. A lot of the designs in this house are very based on African ornamentations. So a lot of the ornaments and how I dress them are very Mediterranean, they're very African, and again, I'm really into like African art, and I think that we've got sort of like Ethiopian headrests and West African masks, and these things just look so good in a house that is quite simple. So I made sure that there wasn't too many things everywhere. I wanted to make sure that there was a lot of space for the client to use their imagination to find a way to place themselves in the space so that they feel like I can make this my own. And then, as I said, I dressed it up with, you know, really over the top, large pots, which, you know, it just gives such a really lovely ancient feel, even though we're still creating this modern space in an old space. So what we have here is the entirety of the living space. So as I said, I wanted to make sure that I complemented the space by bringing out the ancient features, but also creating a modernization with the furniture. And so I decided to gild the ceiling, and I gilded it with gold leaf. A lot of people would say, why didn't you just paint the ceiling gold? And in all honesty, guys, painting a ceiling gold does not have the same effect as gild. So gold leaf is just this really beautiful light material that you literally glue the ceiling and you place this piece of material one by one, and that is including all of the cornicing and every single part. And a lot of people have thought that is bold, but actually what I've done is I then lime washed the walls to create this disheveled ancient kind of theme, so that we really went very much into that sort of you know, 1920s Georgian house, you know, 1900s Georgian house design. And really the thinking behind it was to create a feel of a monument, or let it feel like an old temple. I really wanted people to feel like they're escaping their world and they're entering into something that is so valuable, so regal, so royal. And I just wanted to get that feel from people that this is a space that they would want to invite their friends around, they'd want to show off to their family members, and they would want to dwell in and sit and relax in again and again and again. And I really do feel that was achieved because of gilding the cornicing gold. I wanted to be relatable to the audience, and so therefore I made sure that the lights were fitted, were super modern, and actually I think it works perfectly in this house. So this is a double living room, so we're going to just swap over and have a look at the other side. So this is the second living room. As you can see, we opened up this space. So originally when the house was purchased, it was very much purchased as two separate rooms, and there was two separate doors. But what I've done is I opened up the space so that we could have this feel of having a double living room. And again, it works so well. This is the second one of the twin fireplaces. I did not gild the ceiling gold. I felt that we had enough going on with the first ceiling, but I did lime wash it a slightly lighter lime wash so that people could feel like, again, you know, there's something still going on in this room. Because this is the darker side of the house, I would say that this is specifically would be the kind of TV area. And so even though I've complemented it with a picture, you might want to put TV in this space. Believe it or not, every single piece of furniture, apart from like the things that I place on the shelf, every single piece of furniture is actually rented. When you have clients that are going to be paying £6,000 or £7,000 to rent an entire space, you want to make sure that you don't actually furnish the house, because actually furnishing the house will be quite frustrating for them, because a lot of the time they already have their own furniture. And I think that what I really wanted is I wanted to give them an illusion, and I wanted to create a showroom. So this whole house has been placed as a showroom. So all the furniture is rented. If you are interested in using the same furniture company, the information will be below. The shed in the garden is going to be completely gutted. Everything needs to be stripped, and we're going to extend it right to where Caroline is. So the actual wall, that's going to be bifolding windows, but make it look beautiful. And we're going to do limestone in the garden. I'll double check that with you then. So I wanted to make sure that we had some extra storage. So we made an invisible storage room in this section over here. And then we also put in a WC for a guest bathroom and a utilities room for the boiler and the washing machine. We have a very nice open space. So what did I do in here? What I've done is I actually demolished an existing, it almost was like an additional room for, I don't know, like a vanity room. I demolished the vanity room and took down all of the walls that surrounded the area to open up the space. And then I got what I felt would really complement the space. Outside the house was dark navy blue, so I wanted to carry that same theme through the space. So the entire of the kitchen's units are navy blue and complemented with brass handles. So if you look throughout the house, all of my handles are brass and all of my switches are brass, and brass is a really lovely feature that's carried out throughout the space. So we've got a fridge over here and a cabinet for all of your, pots and pans and plates and stuff. And then I just focused on having cabinets instead of having anything hanging off the wall. So as you can see, what I created was a shelving unit across the back of the kitchen. A lot of people have said, why don't you put the cooker or the sink in this place? I personally just like one big open space that I can sit down and work on if I want. My children can work whilst I'm, cooking, and at the same time, my guests can have a drink and enjoy it. I also really love to cook, so I always want a big space where I can marinate my meat, cut up my vegetables, and then go ahead and cook it on the stove. The style of wall that we created is called French plaster, which is a type of plaster that was placed on the wall to give again a disheveled kind of look. I didn't want to create a small mini kitchen and then a separate room for like your kind of sunroom. I really wanted to open up the space. So what I've done is I extended back into the garden and I made a rear extension. This was one of the biggest challenges on this project. These are really easy to open, super simple. So stepping into the garden. Now I had an option to go with concrete, which was probably half the price, but I felt that concrete would have seemed too basic, just didn't have enough depth, and I'm really into stone, so limestone was the perfect finish. There was a huge shed. I gutted it all out. There was weeds everywhere and broken fences, and I just kept everything super simple, really easy to clean. I think that if it was mine, I may have added more plants and probably landscaped it a bit more, but as I knew it was being rented out, I knew that this would be a really smart thing to do so that it's easy to maintain when doing so. The extension behind me was then made into a kind of more of like a white extension, and then I kind of planted it up a little bit. Lots of overgrown plants, but I personally love them. With a property like this, you probably could, if you so choose to, do a side extension as well to extend out to the side. So guys, I've absolutely loved having you at this house tour. Part 2 is to come very, very soon, and I can't wait to show you what we've done with the bathroom, how we made the rooms look, and where the actual added value has been added, which is the loft conversion. I have enjoyed sharing all my time with you. And listen, if you are interested in learning how property works, if you're interested in investing in your own project, or if you're interested in interior design and making something pop and stand out, look no further. Click the link, subscribe, join my mailing list, and I will be super excited to meet you in person. I will see you on the house tour part 2. Bye.